All right, Jill. What up, y'all? What up? Everybody get in here. Hit the like button. Say what's up to your brother Zoe. What up? What up, y'all? What up, though? Everybody say what's up. Hit that like button. Say what's up. Everybody say what's up. Hit the like button. Talk to your brother Zoe tonight. What up, what up, what up? Y'all got to hit that like button, man. Share it.
To pack a go bag so you can be ready to leave your home quickly.
Hit that like button. Say what's up. The like is free.
Copies of your important documents and ID, money, insurance information, your medical.
Who saw the Zoe What Morning Show today?
Devices, batteries, chargers, a small radio, and emergency contact. If you receive an evacuation order, gather your loved ones, grab your bag, your pet food, and leave immediately. For information on shelters for your pets or even your family, call 211 for the City of Los Angeles.
What up, y'all?
Countywide. Wearing a mask outside will help protect you from smoke, toxic fume, and particulate matter. If you don't need to go out, it's
what
best
up, what
to
up,
stay
what up?
home with the
Yo, yo,
windows
yo, yo,
closed.
yo.
Getting to know your neighbors is a great way to stay safe, stay connected.
I was
and
able to
share
pop
resources.
in later
And
this
angel leaders
morning.
are stepping up
Having
to
the
help.
fam
So
there was
reach
so
out and
beautiful.
find the
Yeah,
assistance
different
you
family
need.
members
Mutual
came
Aid
through.
LA Network is constantly
Everybody
updating
good?
the Google Sheet with mutual aid resources. You can find it at tiny.cc-malan-fire. The earlier you make a plan, the better off you'll be when every second counts.
What up?
Praying
Let
for
everybody
LA,
know we up in
prepare,
here. Happy
and
MLK
stand
Day.
KBLA, Talk 1580.
Peace and good evening. Let's get it.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha.
All right.
Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story. So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light. See the
Search first, keep up. I find the path we got. He's a light touch, shapeshifter, and he'll protect your home. Eyes in the front and the back of the head. So long as you bring your own. He's got me blushing, I can't deny. I am a witness, I testify. This song will only be my sacrifice to the one who can do and undo.
Why does a narcissist treat other people so nicely? They're polite to them, they are helpful, they're kind, compassionate, but when it comes to you, they're a monster. And that makes you wonder, am I doing something wrong? Do I create these issues? Am I triggering them in some way? Am I pushing their limits? Or how is it my fault? Because with others they look fine, they look nice. This is what you have to understand. Narcissistic personalities are very complex. They don't go around abusing everyone, because if they did so, then they will be exposed. They put on this facade of being a good person only to appear normal to others and to gaslight you. Because if you say, this person is abusing me, nobody's going to believe you. Everybody is going to believe the narcissist because to them they are very helpful. For this reason, dealing with a narcissist is extremely complex and you feel so alone in your journey. Why?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of reason has returned to the scene of the crime. So you guys know, man, I sit around all day working on cultivating these topics. And what's interesting is I spend most of my time in the cigar lounge, and there is a unique variety of people and discussions that are going. So in the cigar lounge, there was this discussion about what should a man provide, right? So it started there, you know, being a provider. And men were talking, you know, and men were saying, yeah, man, we're supposed to take care of it. We're supposed to handle it. We're supposed to, you know, be that resource. And then what was interesting, the cigar lounge that I frequent is Drobe Stogies in Inglewood, California, on La Brea. Might as well shout them all the way out. 1322 North La Brea. So we're in there. And so many women frequent the spot, and they are encouraged to participate in the discussions that are held. So a lot of women, or at least from that small sample group, were basically saying kindness, caring, nurturing, all of that stuff is for sale. Of course, they didn't say it that way, but they were saying we're withholding all of that until we reach certain benchmarks of your provision as men. And I thought that was wild, right? I thought it was wild, and they were justifying it. Now I understand there are some goofy guys out here. There are some mean guys who try to utilize their resources to make themselves look more attractive to women. But what was coming out in the conversation, and women got real candid and open about it. They don't mind manipulating and using men and dangling the carrot, the proverbial carrot, you know, indefinitely. Like one sister was talking about how she took advantage of a man and just kept stringing him along, breadcrumbing him, making him feel like he was the guy in one instance, especially if she needed him for something. I thought it was quite interesting. Now, what's weird about me, I might instigate a conversation, throw out a question here or there, but for the most part, I'm in the background observing and taking notes and writing a topic. The topic: the rise of the cognitive caring coquette. Manipulation, masquerading as love. The power games of love. How manipulation shapes modern relationship. Emotional warfare in intimacy, from seduction to domination. Listen, ladies, I need you to call in and share your thoughts, Because the whole, oh, no, that's not me, and I know girls who do that, and women, I need you to call in and tell the truth about this tactic. Is it a real tactic? Who taught you the tactic? Is it in your family, the women in your family? Was it passed down as like a sacred way to get what you want? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to know the rise of performative vulnerability. Is it love or is it strategy? Attachment styles as weapons of power. How does emotional manipulation mimic the principles of warfare in relationship? Are we mistaking strategic vulnerability for genuine intimacy? Now, when we say strategic vulnerability, maybe it's framed differently. I've heard it as, I'm being intentional, right? And some people might be able to say, being intentional is knowing what you want, but it really doesn't peel back the layers of how to go about getting it. How do you go about getting what you want? Do you employ manipulation? I want to know. Men want to know. Can recognizing power plays in love help us dismantle toxic relationship cycles? True or false, intimate relationships often mirror political and military strategies, exposing the darker side of human connection and our subconscious need to dominate or submit to our significant other. I want to know. When care becomes currency, the cost of performative nurturing. I'm going to show up if you prove to me that you are capable of providing for me. And when I say providing, I mean everything, right? Now, that's financial provision, that's emotional provision. The financial provision, sure, I got it. I understand what you mean. The emotional provision, that's a heavy ask. That might be more costly than the financial provision, 1-800-920-1580. Seduction archetypes and their role in emotional manipulation. Right? That's very interesting. Very interesting topic. I want to know what you guys think. I want you guys to share your thoughts on tonight's topic because this is a heavy one. The rise of cognitive caring. Manipulation masquerading as love. When we say cognitive caring, we pull that from the narcissist playbook because the narcissist employs something called cognitive empathy, right? Now, cognitive empathy is not true empathy. They don't feel what you feel. And in many cases, the narcissist could care less about how you feel. But they understand how to mimic care and empathy enough to make you feel like you're being seen and heard and valued. Ooh-wee. I want to know what you think. Spiritual bypassing and the illusion of relational growth. The danger of using spirituality to mask emotional avoidance. Now, I was just talking to a psychologist today in the lounge, and she was basically saying the self-care, the nurturing, the spiritual practices, the yoga, she was saying all of that stuff is superficial. Until you get deep down inside and have this face-to-face with your dragon, as Joseph Campbell would refer to it, right? Until you get inside and deal with that. All of the stuff on top, I lit an incense and I said a prayer and I lit a candle and I set an intention. All of that stuff is superficial. Makes you feel good in the short term, but in the long term, not so much. The shadow of self-improvement in relationships. How does spiritual bypassing stunt authentic growth? And I think oftentimes especially in context of where we live today. We live in a world that is so barbaric, that is so selfish, right? Why is it selfish? We could set the money piece to the side for a second. I'm talking about psychologically selfish. We have been raised to go out and get the preferred diet that our unhealed wounds subsist on. So we will lie, steal, cheat, manipulate, gaslight, stonewall. We'll do whatever is necessary in order to procure those nutrients. And that's what we're saying. Performative nurturing, the performative coquette. A lot of men, and maybe I was just in an audience of wounded, broken, old men. Maybe that's the case. But those men seemed so defeated and almost to the point where, forget relationships. I don't even want to deal with it anymore, because they feel like they have to be father, banker, security, and they feel like the exchange is not equal. And then on top of that, they feel like whatever they're getting back is not authentic. It is something that is used as a management tool to keep them on the hook. Oh man, this is a heavy topic, man. This is a heavy topic, man. The rise of the cognitive caring coquette. Manipulation, masquerading as love, when seduction meets strategy. Do you feel like your woman is being strategic? She's trying to maneuver you into a position. There's a sister online right now. I think her name is Shira7 or something like that. Really teaching women, we're going to play some of her clips, really teaching women the art of war, relationship war. 48 laws of power, basically, right? Really on some Robert Greene-esque stuff, right? And she's basically saying how you get him to marry you is to act like you don't really want to be married. And Zinga knows about it. She says, sprinkle, sprinkle, right? Oh, man, this is deep. What steps can you take to reclaim your emotional independence, brothers? And if you throw in attachment styles on top of that, if you're dealing with an anxious, preoccupied brother, he's going to chase after the little breadcrumbs that are being sprinkled upon him. He's going to get into performance mode with her. How do we break free from trauma bonding? Love or familiar chaos? I want to know what you guys think about tonight's topic. The shadow of seduction, manipulation, desire, and power in intimacy. The duality of seduction, connection or control. I'm going to cognitively present connection so that I can procure control over the situation. And many of us have heard our big mamas and our aunties and our mamas say it. I just let him think he's in control. Ooh, was mama and them manipulating? Brothers, I need to hear from you, sisters. Would you mind sharing some of your insight? Listen, we are about to kick hot grease up in here. If you want to call in and share your story, the number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. The voice of reason, back on a Monday. Let's get it. Woo! What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Hey, y'all got to call in. Call the number right now. Now, if you call in, you get on. No cursing, okay? We're on live radio in Los Angeles, California, KBLA Talk 1580 AM. Terrestrial radio, no profanity. No profanity, but I want to hear your side of the story. I want to hear your side of the story. Call in, brothers. Where my brothers at? Come on, let's get a city roll call. Everybody hit the like button, 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 hit the like button. We got 63 people in here, only 39 likes. Like it up, 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 like it up. There's the number right above you, Pinky99. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Also, I would love for you guys to support this channel. Down at the bottom, there's a little $sign. It's our super chat. Man, if you don't get in here early, John Gilbreth II, if you don't get in here early and preach a sermon, I need to hear from you. 1-800-920-1580. Right down at the bottom, the $sign, the super chat. That goes directly to the YouTube channel. Also, if you want to send your bread to me personally, directly, listen, just go to my Cash App. Nzinga just posted it. $sign, Zoe What Netter. Or you could use the YouTube super chat. Please continue to support. Thank you guys for the likes. We're inching up there. 61 people, 45 likes. Let's keep the likes rolling. Parker Score, can you get a mod? You just got here. You just got here. Happy MLK Day. BTW Media, what up? Call in, loved ones. Call in. Davy Lee, what up?
Is there a way to tell when a narcissistic person is faking an ability to empathize? Research tells us that individuals who score high in narcissism have cognitive empathy, but not affective empathy. So they can understand logically what other people are feeling, but they don't feel it themselves. Many narcissists understand that empathy is socially desirable. Therefore, they use their cognitive empathy to help them fake affective empathy. One easy way to tell when this is happening is to look at the actions of the narcissist. Empathy leads to helping behavior, but with a narcissist, it doesn't. They believe that simply pretending to feel what other people feel is enough to trick people into believing that they possess affective empathy. They're not compelled to deliver assistance.
Wow. Ho, ho, ho. Has a toxic society contaminated the dating pool? Yikes. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to talk to everybody on this. Ladies, are you dating the archetype of your dad so you don't have to grow up spiritually? Ooh. I know it's tough. Because sometimes when you hear that provide, oftentimes they want the wounds provided for. Do you see? Even if Pops was toxic, if you feel like daddy, you feel safe. Ooh. Oh, let me read that question again. Ladies, are you dating the archetype of your dad so you don't have to grow up spiritually? You could be his little girl too. Oh my goodness. You could be your man's little girl. And let's not act like men don't do it the same. Yes, men are guilty of the same. Men are out here looking for mamas. They looking for mama. But when I ask the question towards women, oh, so I don't like women. I love sisters. I love women. I love women. But we're having a real conversation. And so many people, it's 2025. Donald Trump is president for the second time. You got to understand, the world is marching on while you're holding on to outdated beliefs and ideas. So let's have these tough conversations. What are some indicators that you may be choosing a dark triad mate as a cover-up for your own Machiavellian aspects? When I say we're works in progress, we're whips, right? That means we come from a family situation that is in some way dysfunctional, that is in some way broken, right? We take, according to attachment theory, we take our attachment styles, I believe the majority of them, just based on the sheer numbers, if we're doing a ratio, you got 4 attachment styles and 3 of them are insecure. You have anxious, preoccupied, you have dismissive, avoidant, and you have fearful, avoidant. Fearful, avoidant, or disorganized is a combination of anxious, preoccupied, and dismissive. So I believe the majority of people, if we have 3 insecure styles out of 4, I believe the majority of people are insecure in some way. And where those insecure attachment styles come into play is in our intimate relationships in the form of some type of manipulation. Do you understand? So that question resonates. What are some indicators that you may be choosing a dark triad mate as a cover-up for your own Machiavellian aspects? Listen, if you were raised by someone that was codependent, Ross Rosenberg calls it SLD, self-love deficient. He calls it a disorder. If you were raised by someone who was a covert narcissist or a grandiose narcissist, you modeled narcissism. And it's going to be manifested in your adult relationships. In what ways do covert courtesan personas utilize emotional energy as currency? What connections exist between narcissists, codependence, and performance-based vulnerability? I'm a mirror you. If you give to me, I give to you. If you take care of me, I'll take care of you. Oh my God, 1-800-920-1580. How might your fee go? Which is a term I penned in my 2025 book, The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. It's available on Amazon.com. How might your fee go? Fear and ego be keeping you in a spiritually and relationally infantile state? Are you dating the continuation of your parent? And are you performing to get those provisions? Is remaining in an avoidant and or anxious energy a way of playing spiritually small? Gosh, you date somebody who fits your wounds. My goodness. This is deep stuff tonight. Are we ready to cook? Listen, when I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. I want to talk to y'all. Let's get it. All right, y'all. Y'all gonna answer the call? I need y'all to call in. I need y'all to call in. Come on. Let's talk today. Carolina 1. Some people don't even realize that they were raised by a narcissist. That's the point I was making. Fear and ego equal ungodliness. How can you be spiritual with those? I didn't say Somebody with spiritual that has Figo. I never said that she, but she, you can call in. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Are we ready to talk tonight? Are we ready to talk tonight? We got 6 minutes on this break. Can I get my phone to ring? Trump signed a bunch of great executive orders today. Leak Project Live Watcher. That's not the topic we're talking about. Davey Lee, everyone has an ego. Yes, but is everyone's ego in check? Which side of the mirror is the narcissism? Bleak Pill. I love it. Call in. Not everyone is egotistical, though. That's the whole point. When I said not everyone has their ego in check. And of course, these concepts don't apply to everyone. However, we do live in a toxic society, and the human brain and central nervous system is an association-making machine. You understand? Many of us do toxic stuff, unbeknownst to us. Why? Because self-evaluation without judgment is probably one of the most difficult things a human being could be asked to do. Not true, Chris. Not true at all. But it sounded intelligent, but not true at all. It was articulate and maybe even funny, but not true. No profanity on the air, but I do want to talk to you guys. Anybody calling in? We got a lot of people in here that are new to this chat. Faux fanity, man. Get in here. Ronan, faux fanity, man, you know. Got a lot of new people in the chat right now. They may not know the rules. My big brother from another, Zoe, much love and appreciation. Hope y'all are safe out there, man. We doing our best. Well, the newbies got to call in, true. They got to call in. They got to call in. And maybe the old bees could be the impetus for people calling in. Make sense? Hey, newbies. I love it. Mikhail, what up? Newbies need to learn from the OGs. Agreed. Agreed. Y'all know we're in another red flag warning here in Los Angeles. We're in another red flag warning in terms of dope topic, Big Brothers. Oh, thank you, Suge Mac 510. In terms of windstorms. Today until Thursday, we're going to be red flag, basically. Red flag, windstorms coming out of the Sierra Mountains again. And like I said, if the fire isn't out, yeah, it's still burning. Both fires are still burning. Just understand that. They have been contained to a large degree, but both fires are still burning. And the reason why there's concern is because the winds are back. Not the 100 mile an hour winds, but 50, 60 mile an hour winds are happening in different parts of the Southland here. So it's a real situation. It's a real situation. So we've been on alert because it's dry out here. It hasn't rained in 9 months, that kind of stuff, you know, so. And you had people saying to me like, oh, Zoe, you crazy, man. You trying to tell me the wind made the fire come? Y'all saw the hurricane force winds blowing and all of the cinders flying down the street. Y'all saw the video, the footage of that, right? Am I? It was like, so the wind ain't gonna make it do. I'm like, man, is you crazy? They don't know LA. They don't know what it is. I saw the fires myself when I lived there. It's surreal. And we've had many fires, and people be asking me, hey, Zoe, I hear LA is on fire. And normally my response would be, man, that's way over there, dude. I'm straight. This is the first time I was ever like, what? It's on Sunset Boulevard. What? That's crazy to me. I've never seen that. Right. Because you're in the Pacific. Dorothea.
So if you're with a man and you want him to marry you, act like you don't even care about marriage. You act like marriage is the last thing on your mind. You act like you're not trying to commit to him anytime soon because I don't know if I'm going to marry you, Or when you talk to him and you talk about marriage, don't talk about you and him being married. Just say, when I get married, like take him out of it. Because if he feels like he's not in it, and he's not marriage material, he's challenged. Now he's going to make himself marriage material in your eyes. So
That's the girl, right? That's Shira 7. That's her. Sprinkle, sprinkle. That's manipulation, guys. And if you're listening to what she's saying in context of attachment theory, by acting indifferent and or dismissive, he becomes anxious. And now he's trying to prove to her that he's marriage material. This woman got over 700,000 followers. It's not dudes following her. See, so if I bring it up, Zoe hating on women. Now, this is a pandemic. This is a scandemic going on out there. And typically, this woman is aiming women and curating their behaviors towards men of means. Ladies, where are you tonight? Los Angeles, I'm talking to y'all. Can y'all call in and explain this phenomena to me? How does the concept of covert theatrical caring manifest in relationships? And what are the implications of using empathy as a strategic tool for emotional and financial security? Listen, if I date a woman, I want to date a woman of purpose. To me, that's a woman of means. A woman of means is a woman of purpose, a woman of integrity, a woman of character, a woman of resilience, a woman of intellect, a woman of spiritual adroitness. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm on. If you come in asking me to buy your mama's car insurance, and then I'll do this and I'll behave this way and I'll tailor make this and that towards your liking if I'm taken care of. What? This is happening. Can you identify moments in your life where you performed emotional labor as a means of gaining approval or love? How does this relate to your sense of self-worth? To what extent do you believe your attachment style influences the type of partners you attract? And how might this perpetuate ongoing relationship dysfunction? How can the interplay of transactional emotional manipulation and genuine connection create a paradox in intimate relationships? What role does the concept of performative nurturing play in your relationships? And how can recognizing this behavior lead to deeper authenticity? This is a real situation. I'm asking real questions. I don't have the answers. And I'm not saying that men haven't been out here playing games either. Men are good at games too. We call it good game. It's out in the street. People, if you don't have game, they'll say you game goofy. You getting game run on you. Do you see? Heavy stuff. I'm not letting men off the hook, but what I'm saying is I've never seen such an organized movement. And it's almost clandestine. Why? Because most men are not on this woman's channel watching her content. Her content is exclusively for women to procure security from men that are in position to provide it. Now, why do they have to manipulate it in order to get it? We got callers on the line. I want to talk to everybody. Let's get everybody in here. Who's been on the longest? John, Mountain View, Hawaii. John, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Greetings and blessings, chat. If I run away from this phone, it's not because of the subject matter that's going on. It's because I'm at work.
I got you, brother.
But this all sounds like game to me. And the only reason we have game is because women need it.
Ooh, what? Why do they need game?
Because they cannot outtake or even adapt to the things men got going on.
Say more. Go deeper.
Well, the depth of it is, what woman is going to manhandle a man to get him to do what she wants?
I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Keep going.
The whole point is you have to do your witchcraft, trickery, debauchery, emotional intelligence, or emotional dependency. Because again, you need a victim to be a part of your game to run game on.
That's
and 9 times out of 10, those that are most inept to play the game are the ones that can afford it.
So they're the Vicks?
And they want it to be volunteered, voluntold, and gave to it.
Voluntold? Don't do that. Come on.
But that's just the way it is.
Wow.
But you're also talking about a group of individuals who can't even identify what women are today. I mean, a Supreme Court justice, a black woman, highly educated, cannot even identify what women are. And you're trying to confuse even that in the confines of trying to build a relationship.
Wow. Wow.
It must be a blessing to be game goofy.
Game goofy.
I still got my pocket. I'm sorry.
Hey, thank you for calling in from work, brother. Guess what you just did?
Pohakalua training area is in the building. Let the bullets fly.
Let the bullets fly. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, more from the phone lines.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Yo.
Capital One has a rewards credit card
Fire.
for you.
No, bitchcraft was a topic I did many, many years ago on T Radio V, on Dash Radio. I did bitchcraft. And it was a pretty popular episode. But of course, I can't use that terminology here. But call in, ladies. Ladies, would you share with us? Would you share with us? Would you call in? Oh, and somebody just, I think it was Dorothea. Dorothea, thank you. You're the only person who hit the super chat tonight. We're nearly 50 minutes into the show. And we only got $2. You know, YouTube takes 30% of whatever we get. So I'm urging and encouraging everybody to support. Okay? Andrea, what up? Read her book. Andrea, you sound surprised. Like, somebody brought it to my attention. As a matter of fact, it was a bartender at the cigar lounge that brought it to my attention. I never heard of it. So I'm like, what? It's a culture.
Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The autopsy
It's a culture.
provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police.
I need y'all to call in.
The services offered through the initiative include the
60 seconds. Here we go.
disclosure of preliminary
Clit Jitsu.
and
Boy,
autopsy report. A police
Ronan. Hey, Ronan called it Clit Jitsu. This fool is crazy, dog. Clit Jitsu. Me and Ronan. Clit Jitsu is crazy. Clit Jitsu is the wildest thing I've ever heard. Wow.
Close friend or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit
Clit Jitsu?
That's
Twat Kwando? Man, y'all tripping now.
At KBLA, we believe in justice.
Y'all tripping. Y'all really out here bugging right now.
We don't black down. This is a community. Talk 15.
Y'all tripping.
The Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
talked about the Oedipus complex. Today we're talking about Electra complex. Carl Jung came up with this name 14 years after Sigmund Freud developed this theory about the Oedipus complex. Freud denied Jung's idea, saying that this theory strictly applies to boys, and even though there is little empirical data, this is accurate. Psychologists of today still refer to this theory, both for the boys and for the girls. So let's dive deeper. What is Electra complex today? So where does the name Electra come from? Once again, it comes from a beautiful Greek mythology. It's a tragic story of Electra. She loved her father, Agamemnon, very much. He was the king, but he wasn't nice to her mother. He actually killed his wife's first husband and first child in order to marry her. So Electra's mom was not a big fan of her husband from the get-go, and yet she gave him 2 children, Electra and Eris. When she gave him 2 children, the king decided to go and fight the Trojan War. He was absent for 10 years. During these 10 years, Electra's mom found nourishment and confinement in the king's cousin, and they decided to usurp the power. Electra was pissed. Then her father came back home 10 years after with a new family, with a mistress and with children. And he put his mistress evenly to his wife. So the wife got really pissed and decided to kill him. She lured him into the bathhouse and killed him. Electra could not forgive her mom for killing her dad, and she enticed her youngest brother to kill.
So we've heard of the Oedipus, complex, where the boy loves his mother so he tries to date his mother. He tries to date his mother in intimate relationships. He tries to find somebody and then the reverse is the Electra complex. See, men of means, please understand that women don't just want what's in your pocket. They also want whatever it is their dad gave them. You've heard it before. Women look for men that remind them of their fathers. And look how deep this manipulation can go. If they find a man, right, that reminds them of their father, and they're not healed themselves, part of the manipulation is to mold themselves, is to comport themselves to what they think that man desires so that they may become more desirable to him. Now, one of the manipulation tactics that are used is unavailability. I like you, but I'm not going to upend my life for you. I'm not going to change any. Do you see what's happening here? And so, if the man is anxiously attached, I can't let this one go. She's fine. She's intelligent. She's quote unquote classy. Do you see? Relationships, like mirrors, reflect the conscious and unconscious elements of our psyche. Now, in modern intimacy, an archetype has emerged that challenges traditional understandings of vulnerability and nurturing, right? Now, that archetype, the covert fairy god courtesan. What does that mean, Zoe? She comes across like a fairy godmother. She got sparkles and sprinkles all over. She's sweet, she's kind, but you don't know that there's an agenda behind the nurturing and kindness. Now, ladies, if you're listening to this show tonight, you might feel like I'm coming for y'all. I'm not. There are some real, genuine, true women out there, but we have to stop circling the wagons around the busted ones. Just because you present like Claire Huxtable, which is a fictional character, doesn't mean that's who you are. And if you're doing it to take advantage of men who are broken themselves, because many men of power, they did it by being Machiavellian themselves, right? So you understand that their self-worth is caught up in world domination, not internal domination, not internal discipline, not internal control. Are y'all listening tonight? This is heavy. This persona, a blend of the performative caregiver, the strategic empath, and the calculated seductress, embodies the modern-day geisha girl navigating relationships with a mix of theatrical caring, emotional manipulation, and transactional nurturing. Y'all have heard it before. I'm not your mama. I'm not your therapist. Y'all heard that before, right? Okay. Beneath her polished exterior lies a profound commentary on the relational and spiritual crisis of our time. At the heart of this archetype is the concept of covert theatrical caring, an adaptive strategy where empathy is weaponized as a currency. I poured into you. Wasn't I there for you? Didn't I support you when you went through this? I'm owed. You owe me. 1-800-920-1580. This is getting deep. This is juicy. And don't act like it don't exist. Right? Don't act like it. Here, the nurturing persona appears to prioritize the needs of others. But her care is often tethered to a subconscious need for security, validation, or control. The covert courtesan persona thrives in a dynamic of emotional debt. By giving strategically, she ensures the receiver remains indebted to her. What is that? Oh, drawing on Robert Greene's insight in The Art of Seduction and the 48 Laws of Power, this archetype reveals how performance can obscure genuine connection. In romantic relationships, this often translates to a dynamic where the caregiver becomes indispensable, not out of love, but as a means of securing influence and/or protection. This phenomena finds its root in wound parenting, where formative childhood experiences shape attachment styles. This is heavy stuff. As Patrick Carnes has explored in the context of trauma bonding, unresolved parental dynamics often manifest in adult relationships, leading individuals to unconsciously seek partners who mirror their caregivers, whether they're toxic or not. The man is dating his mama, the woman is dating her daddy. And they're performing to secure it. I know you need this, and you know I need that. So I'm going to do this so I can procure that, whatever that may be. The covert fairy god courtesan emerges as a reaction to these wounds, blending avoidant detachment with a veneer of vulnerability. It sounds like the covert narcissist. When we come forward, the voice of reason is going back to the phone lines. Man, we on fire tonight. Y'all can't tell me that setup ain't cold. EBT ass. Y'all cannot tell me that setup ain't ridiculous. That's why y'all got to call in. Lloyd Hinton. Man, Lloyd Hinton sent me something so awesome. It's like a crystal trophy. And it has Africa inscribed in the center, and it has the number 7, and then it has the 7 names of the most powerful Orisha inscribed on it. And then on the base, it says Zoe. Man, I put that in my house. And you know, I ain't gonna just put anything in my house. I put that in my house, bro. I was like, yo, Lloyd, thank you. That's so fly. Thank you. Hey, did I set this show up right? Is the setup cold? Y'all tell me. I figured you needed protection. I do. And I'm thankful and I'm grateful. Somebody else gave to the super chat. We're at $21. Mike Hinton. Thank you, Mike. Let me like all of that. Andy.
Yeah.
I know you be like, this motherfucker Zoe, man. And these topics.
Hey, man.
I know you be like, what the fuck? Section 8 panties. Poverty panty trails. Great setup. Yeah, Zoe, that setup is super solid. But that's the reason why I'm asking is because I want the point to be clear. So you can go, huh, I never looked at it that way, but it makes sense. And I'm writing this, right? So I'm like, I want y'all to be able to say, I can see that happening. I've seen that happening. I've experienced that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Functionally homeless geishas? Man. Please knock it off. Oh, shit. Hey, tomorrow, I'm back in Pasadena tomorrow. More importantly, I'm going to Altadena. And hopefully you guys are following me on Instagram, because I was told my old bookstore burned down. It's across the street from the cemetery that got burnt. So hopefully you guys are following me on Instagram. I'm going to go live from Altadena tomorrow. That's going to be pretty emotional, man, because when I tell you I walked the streets as a kid, Pasadena, Altadena, all over. All over. It's going to be interesting.
Become yourself, because black love still exists. What are your bedroom turn-offs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about this? The child wasn't here, and you still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I was like, this gonna be way up there.
Damn. Betrayal has been committed. Hit you with a bad vibes routine. How does he maintain his composite?
I likes it when it pinches my nip.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a Coquette man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you rate women so well?
So William.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
Okay, that's the same problem then with the mother raising this child and making it her toy. Her needs are in conflict with the needs of the child.
And please, perhaps you God. The mother, her mother was also like that.
Yeah.
And this, the
We
whole
need some young
world is
Jiddu
like
Krishna
that,
mercy,
huh?
some young.
It's not the mother.
Mm-hmm.
So when I come to you with my problem, you say it's the mother.
No, I wouldn't
I
say it's...
object to that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's the mother.
No.
Uh-huh. You're saying that it's a much broader problem.
Much deeper problem.
Okay.
when the mother didn't put the baby on the right pot or something.
Right. It appears that the needs are in conflict.
No, I wouldn't call needs are in conflict. Basically, they're divisive, self-centered activity. That inevitably must bring contradiction and the whole business of relationship and conflict. Because each one wants his pleasure.
There's self-centered activity on the part of the person who's raising the child or on the part of the person who is in the relationship, married. The child is the victim of that.
The child?
The child is the victim of that.
Of course.
And then grows up to perpetuate it.
And mother's father, mother's fathers are like that too.
Yes. Now, why does it have to happen that way? Are we saying that's the way it is in nature? Or are we saying that...
No.
This is heavy. Krishnamurti don't be playing whatsoever. The voice of reason is on fire tonight. The topic is deep. It's a topic we've been needing to have. And so many people are afraid to have this conversation. I'm going to put it out there. Regarding the women in our family, was Big Mama their first madam? I know y'all don't want to hear me put it that way. Was Big Mama their first madam? Did she teach manipulation tactics to get the good man? And if we're listening to Krishnamurti, he's basically saying there is a perpetuation of toxicity. If the parent is toxic, the child will be toxic. Do you see? That's attachment theory, right? And if you're teaching women to prioritize their physicality, their kindness, when I say prioritize, let's swap that word out, weaponize their physicality, right? Weaponize their empathy, weaponize their nurturing ability. Get fair exchange for it, right? Is that not a type of, go ahead and say it, prostitution? Passive-aggressive prostitution? The fairy god prostitute. An intriguing look at the modern-day geisha girl, right? I know it's heavy, but we got to have the conversation. I have a daughter. We talk often. And I tell her, your character, who you are as a being, is independent of me. And I told her, you want to be an actress? Here's my suggestion. Being an actress is the hardest part of Hollywood. You're going to get told no 10,000 times before you get one yes. And that's being modest. I said, while you're here at this university, why not take up writing and directing? Because then it'll be easier to transition into doing what you want to do, which is acting. But you'll be able to get work as an intern, as a writing intern, as a production intern. You'll be able to do that. The actress road is a little different. You're auditioning and you're waitressing. Everybody moves to LA and they're waiting tables, waiting on their big break. Do you understand? And I've always told her, independent of me, independent of your mother, the spirit you came into this world with is invaluable. It is priceless. Do you understand me? And whatever you want to do, I'm 100% behind you. However, the world is not a kind place, and the world will take you to places to where there are different moments where you might have to bend the knee. Now, when you're at that crossroad, this is me talking to my daughter every day. When you're at that crossroad, you got to realize what you're giving up. You're giving up your character. You're giving up your integrity. You're giving up a piece of that infinitely valuable essence that is your soul. And yes, it's infinitely valuable. And yes, people can't take it from you unless you give it. But why give it? Make people earn it. Right? How do they earn it? Not by you forcing them to, not by you manipulating them into doing it. You earn it by shining, by blinding their soul with the light of yours. That's how you earn it. Because most people are not looking at themselves. Most people are not trying to correct themselves. Most people are not trying to get on the healing path. So when you come in and you've done a modicum of work on yourself, it'll be 10,000 times more than what the average person has done, and that light is going to blind them. I told her when I was at A&R, I'm looking for the it factor. Something intangible about you that I can't put my finger on. I want you to cultivate that. That's what's going to draw a man in. Not the currency of your booty, right? That's not going to do it. Be authentic. I said, there are things, and I told my daughter this, there are things that you modeled from me as your father that you have to heal from internally. Most people look at relationships as a hospital, but not in the spiritual sense, in the transactional sense. I'm coming to this hospital for services. Give me what my wounds need. And this hospital operates like Western medicine. We're not trying to cure you. We're trying to medicate you to keep you on the medication until you die. That's how we're operating in relationships. I don't really love you, but I love what you do for me. Do you see? Covert, theatrical, caring. At the heart of this archetype is the concept of covert, theatrical, caring, an adaptive strategy where empathy is weaponized as currency. Here, the nurturing persona appears to prioritize the needs of others, but her care is often tethered to a subconscious need for security, validation, or control. The covert courtesan personality thrives in a dynamic of emotional debt by giving strategically. She ensures the receiver remains indebted to her, drawing on Robert Greene's insights in the 48 Laws of Seduction or the Art of Seduction and the 48 Laws of Power. This archetype reveals how performance can obscure genuine connection. In romantic relationships, this often translates to a dynamic where the caregiver becomes indispensable, not out of love, but as a means of securing influence and protection. This phenomena finds its root in wound parenting, where formative childhood experiences shape attachment styles. As Patrick Carnes has explored in the context of trauma bonding, unresolved parental dynamics often manifest in adult relationships, leading individuals to unconsciously seek partners who mirror their caregivers. The covert fairy god courtesan emerges as a reaction to these wounds, blending avoidant detachment with a veneer of vulnerability. By remaining in this persona, she protects herself from the risks of true intimacy while maintaining the illusion of connection. However, as Krishnamurti warns, the image is not the reality. And this dynamic traps both partners in a cycle of performative affection rather than genuine love. The interplay of transactional emotional manipulation and performative nurturing creates a paradox in these relationships. Emotional energy becomes a commodity exchanged for security, approval, or power. Drawing on Marshall Rosenberg's concept of nonviolent communication, we can see how this dynamic distorts the essence of empathy. Genuine nurturing, rooted in authenticity, becomes diluted when care is given with ulterior motives. The covert courtesan persona, therefore, represents a profound spiritual and relational deficit, a refusal to confront the fear of vulnerability that lies at the core of one's existence. The cognitive caring coquette, a variant of this archetype, leverages emotional labor as a means of control. Her vulnerability is not a reflection of her inner world, but a carefully curated performance designed to elicit specific responses from her partner. Now, y'all tell me this ain't a real person. I had a woman tell me out of her mouth, I flirt to convert. She said it. I had another ex-girlfriend tell me, you might be vulnerable to a girl or woman nurturing you. She might take advantage by showing up and doing everything you need her to do for you. That's how she gets in with you. Oh, Lord. This aligns with the work of Daniel Kahneman, who highlights how cognitive biases shape human behavior. The recipient of her care often perceives it as authentic, failing to recognize the subtle manipulation at play. The result is a dynamic where both parties remain trapped in roles that prevent true intimacy. She as the performer and he as the audience. This is heavy stuff. And nobody wants to talk about it. We got callers on the line. There are people who want to talk about it. But these phone lines should be off the chart, because don't act like it hasn't happened to you, brother. It happened to me. I know it happened to you. And sisters who do this, why are you so quiet? It's 2025. It's time to tell the truth. Y'all think because 2024 is over, Cat Williams, he got another one coming out with Shay Shay. You know, everything will be exposed. Remember that in 2024 and everything went crazy? Well, it's happening right now on KBLA Talk 1580. But y'all quiet because you feel exposed. It's my job to do it. Ain't nobody else doing it. Y'all out here talking about relationships. Oh, he got something wrong with brothers, and brothers need to show up. And everybody got something negative to say about brothers. Boy, Tavis Smiley was genius with that billboard campaign. Instead of talking about brothers, why not talk to them? Come on. Listen, when I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. We're going to hear what the people got to say. We got motherfuckers in here. There's motherfuckers in here lurking. Motherfuckers in here listening, but ain't nobody calling in. Y'all scary. I'm tired of scared people. What did Farrakhan say? If you scared, then sit down. Quiet than a motherfucker. Ain't got nothing to say. Y'all telling me this ain't making sense? The internet is full of goofball gender discussion. But have we heard one like this? Metaphysical, clinical, psychological, philosophical. Have we heard one this concise, this empirically backed? I got the facts right here. We put in attachment theory. Y'all not seeing it? Women have mastered manipulation to the point where they're turning men anxious, preoccupied. Chasing after fucking ghosts. And this is a real conversation. Y'all afraid to have it. Except for Ronan and Nzinga. Dated six-figure man. This is that. You see what I'm saying? Straight escort. Unc, you look healthy. Greetings from Ireland. I am healthy. Believe that.
To enhance your perception of life experiences, then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best.
Generational Blade Runners. Everybody hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. And listen, I've been asking y'all to hit my Cash App. I've been asking y'all to hit the Super Chat. Either one, please support. We're at $21.98 in damn near 90 minutes. Come on, y'all. Support.
Okay, let's talk about the fake empathy of the covert narcissist. And this is what has people fooled, okay? Because you may go to that covert narcissist and tell them about some kind of problem you're having, or you may be upset around them, and they pretend to be empathetic to you. They pretend to show that they care or something like that. But the reality of it is it's all an act. And how are you going to know it's an act? Because they won't follow up. That covert narcissist may pretend to be empathetic, but then when you need them, they're not going to be around. They're going to ghost. They're going to have excuses. And really, they don't have empathy, but they're pretending to have that empathy for you, all right? So you'll know it by their follow-up actions. You know, if they follow up to see how you are, or they ask about it again. A lot of them will never ask about it again because they don't want to hear about it, because really they don't care. But they'll pretend to have that empathy, but their actions will show that they're really not empathetic.
Again, sometimes people miss the connection to you. And as long as they can connect, you know, or they have that peace of mind that if they wanted to, they could reach out. You know, that's all they need. Do they have to actually reach out? Of course not. You've experienced it. You've spent a lot of money, done a lot of things, hung out, took care of everything, and it was received as if that's normal for someone like me. Is America producing covert narcissists? Is America and the dating scene creating dismissive women, and in turn those dismissive women are creating anxious men? Where I'm kind of into you. The door is kind of open. You know, the time we spent was really cool. I'm open to what could happen potentially. And that gives the anxious man this idea like, oh, well, let me try harder. Let me show even more. The clip we played earlier, the lady said it. Act uninterested in marriage. And when you reference marriage, don't put him in the marriage picture. Put the proverbial perfect guy. And when he comes along, I'ma definitely be with getting married. We got callers on the line. Let's get them all in here. Right? This is a deep topic. People quiet. Dorothea from Atlanta, Georgia. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Trying to get a really good understanding of it. So I heard you talking about your daughter, and that kind of resonated with me because I didn't have a dad growing up. Mm-hmm. And to even give me the game, like to hear you listen to you talk about your daughter is amazing. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. What I told her, and I'm gonna give you this so you can get a better idea of what we're talking about. There is a young lady online. Somebody sent me a clip of hers. This whole conversation started the day before yesterday in the cigar lounge. And guys were talking about how women take advantage of them for their resources. Right? And women play like they care. They play like they nurture. They play like they're empathetic, right? And all just to move the needle in order to get some kind of provision. And there were women involved in this conversation as well, and they added their 2 cents, and it all sounded very transactional. Like, I will show up if I get A, B, C, D. And then there were some women who talked about psychological wounds and how the man that they choose will kind of be somewhat of a caretaker for those psychological wounds. Now, if you listen to this show, you know, I tell people any psychological wound you come into a relationship with is your responsibility to heal, to start that healing process. But now we're starting to see the reason behind why some women will date a man that reminds them of their father, whether he was toxic or not. They're trying to remain the little girl that they were with their dad. They're also trying to be that with their man. And that's a heavy, tall order to ask from another work in progress. Your thought? Wait, hold your thought. When I come forward, I'm giving you a little minute to think about it. When I come forward, I'm going to get your answer. Y'all not telling me what y'all think about tonight's topic. Give me your thoughts. Is this topic well thought out? Do you understand the concepts that are being presented here? Do you? Are they resonating? Have you experienced it? Have you perpetuated it against others? Has it been perpetuated against you? That's a fair answer, Ida. I've used men and men have used me. That is a fair breakdown. Yes, they hit hard, but I feel like these are concepts that some may struggle to admit to themselves or may feel self-conscious about. And Andrew, Dre, you're 100% right. And the reason why you're right is because Carl Jung, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid looking at themselves. But these are the type of conversations and discussions that are needed in order for us to get out of this toxic cycle of viral superficiality. Toxic cycle of viral superficiality. Y'all see all the YouTube clips and everybody talking, and it'd be some of the most asinine conversation ever, right? Some of the most asinine relationship talk ever. Goofy than the motherfucker. And then you look goofy if you don't understand the game that the lower level of consciousness is playing. You look goofy. I'd be like, what the fuck is that? Y'all doing that? Those 2-minute clips make an hour-long nothing burger look problematic. What? Oh, I know what you're saying. Yes. When it's hungry. Wow. Everybody talking and not saying nothing. The heart eats any lie when it's hungry. Woo, man, you got to call in with that. That's a good way to put it. Oh, y'all cooking tonight. Don't be afraid to get us to 100 likes. Can we get to 100 likes before the show is over? Andrew, I really appreciate you commenting in the chat. I really appreciate that. And a lie don't care who tells it, so 100%. Everybody subscribe. Everybody like, and share. And if you can, please support. Wait, what did Canyon Man say? Hello, dirty Indian man. That's funny. We got a lot of trolls in here. Are y'all trolls hitting the dang like button at least? Hey, Nzinga, get them up out of here as quickly as you can. I would have been dead alone. Man, hey, you speaking my language, Lloyd. If I had to live off someone's love, I would have been dead a long time ago. Man, I ain't even gonna lie, man. My daughter, my sons, they love the hell out of their dad. And that's my grandbaby. That's one of my motivating factors. What I recognize with a lot of women, boy, they be on some silly shit, like, and I just got to be honest. They be on some silly shit. It's like, to them, me on the radio is a persona. And then in the real relationship, this version of me is not accepted. Right? Every wise man you know is a conundrum. Every wise man you know is a contradiction. There are no wise men that aren't contradictions. Please understand that. That's a bar. I really need you to contemplate that. Wise man or woman. This ain't no goddamn persona. This is me. And the only difference is off the air, I just don't talk. Like in the real world, people see me in the real world, I let everybody else talk. In a relationship, you gotta talk. We gotta talk. We gotta be authentic. We gotta be transparent. What does that mean? Instantly? No. Because sometimes, especially if you're a person that understands, sometimes people having conversations of this magnitude, it's going to take a minute for them to even get comfortable to get to a point where they can be transparent. But there has to be a desire to want to be transparent. And I'm the type of person, I'm going to give you space to grow into it. You ain't got to give it up right then, but you got to say something like, listen, this is hard. I've never been in this position before to have to speak. So give me a second. Let me acclimate, to what's needed. You got all the time in the world then because you're talking about it.
It needs some background. It is a fact that we have the most evolved neurological system compared to a worm, insect, bird, animal, anybody. But we also have a psychological process. Whatever your psychological process, your thought and emotion, is only happening because of a certain amount of information that you gathered, isn't it? Oh, you think she's a wonderful person, so certain kind of thought. Oh, you think she's not nice, another kind of thought. Oh, you think this is somebody else. With all this information, whatever you have gathered, whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. The type of information you've gathered determines the type of thought and type of emotion that you have, isn't it? This is one thing. If you teach human beings to understand your psychological process is entirely your drama. It's got nothing to do with reality. Is it so? Your psychological drama has nothing to do with the reality here. 100 people can be sitting here and everybody in their own psychological space, and they're in 100 different worlds. They're not in this world. So I have an empty head, nothing. So I'm in this world. So because I'm only in this world, I'm paying attention to everything. I have nothing going in my head. If I sit in one place, once in a way, when I take a break, for 5 days, if I close myself up, I don't have a single thought in my mind. I don't read, I don't watch television, I don't write, I don't do anything, I don't even look out of the window. Not a single thought on my mind. Because psychological process is just a small drama which has gotten magnified simply because you've gotten so identified with it. It's like this. People always come up to me and say, Sadhguru, I want to meditate, but the thoughts are coming.
I ask them, see, I will teach you another kind of meditation where your kidney function will stop, your liver function will stop, your heart function will stop. Are you interested? No, no, no. Then what? You only want your brain function to stop? Why? See, when you sit and meditate, your kidney is functioning, liver is functioning, heart is functioning, you have no issue. Only if your brain functions, you have a problem. Yes? Why is that? Because you are not so identified with your kidney function, but you are super identified with your thought process and emotion. Because you are so identified with it, you think it's you. Because of that, now it has obliterated your experience of life. Tell me in 24 hours time, how many moments are there beyond thought you looked at something?
Listen, I'm here to own up. If you're unhealed, you are therefore by default a manipulator. I know you don't want to accept it. I know you don't want to acknowledge it. But if you're unhealed, you are prone to manipulating others. Because wounds, you don't even have to be a narcissist to need supply. Your wounds need an endless supply of validation, approval, acceptance, acknowledgement. I need to be seen. I need to be heard. And as Sadhguru just explained, what happens is these wounds enmesh themselves into our psychology. They become who we think we are. We identify with them. They are us and we are them. We don't separate the wound and say, that's a moment in time. I'm not that little kid that was wounded there. I know I'm not responsible for what happened to me. I know I'm not responsible for the toxicity I modeled in childhood. No, but instead we go out into the world of adult relationships and we write all of these expectations for our partners to fulfill. We are manipulators. Gaslighters, stonewallers, we're all of it. Covert, men and women. Whew. Let me get back to Dorothea from Atlanta, Georgia. Dorothea, you had time to think of the answer. Your thoughts?
I would have to agree 100%. I would have to say I was a manipulator. I was all of those things before I started working on myself. I started reading and just learning who I was, the reason why I'm here. And I had to do a lot of apologizing. So I think us as women, like me, myself, not having a dad, having multiple relationships, fearful, avoidant, attachment styles. So I never really gave my all in any relationship, but I still wanted somebody who was going to, I guess, whatever I can get out of it. I always had my own, so I never really dated a person for what they made. But at the same time, it was that yearn of like sex. Okay, if I have sex with this person, I just needed somebody there, that void, that wound, that I just needed somebody just to say that I had somebody. But I never thought about marriage until being with my husband. I've been married 14 years, but we grew spiritually together. So we're on this journey together. So we're learning as we go, and I'm having to apologize to him because it's hard being Black in America. So when you tune out the distractions, you're reading, you're really working on self, you really start to understand that none of this stuff even matters. As long as we got each other, that's all that matters. So I think the Americanized way of how us as Black women think, if we're not working on self, what are we going by? Like, who created that what am I trying to say? Who created that? We didn't create it, so why are we putting so much on something that was never created from us from the beginning?
Let me just say this. I know you married for 14 years, and I know your husband loves you. But girl, we love you too. Lord have mercy. You came in here with the truth, transparency. It takes strength. It takes courage to get on the air and speak the truth. I love you for that. I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. Guess what you just did?
I brought Atlanta, Georgia in the building.
Atlanta, Georgia is in the building. Who wants to get in here and talk to Zoe Williams? The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580 when we come forward. Pensacola, Florida. Let's get it. ATL cooked it up. ATL cooked it up. Like this on the scrambled egg side of the game. Boy, that wrist action. Them eggs fluffy than a motherfucker, boy. They got bubbles in them. Woo. Gotta grease them ovaries after each. What? My left stroke just went viral. We got 100 likes. Hey, go to my Cash App right now. If we can get 59 people to drop $5 on my Cash App, I would be so appreciative. I would be so grateful. I would be so thankful if everybody could go to my Cash App and drop just $5. My Cash App is $ZowWhatNetter. $ZowWhatNetter. If you guys are enjoying tonight's content, if you're enjoying tonight's show, put up whatever emoji to let me know what you think of this show. If you think it's fire, put up a fire emoji. If you think it's cold as ice, put up some icicles. I don't know. But let me know that you guys are rocking with the show. What'd you say? 90 seconds. Hey, Monday is on fire. Peace from Alabama. Yes, yes, yes. Neek is the night. Yes, yes, yes. Too many non-stick catered. Hella toxic, you stupid. I just want to take a moment to say thank you, Zoe, because you are a true inspiration. Your show has guided me through so much, and it's been my guidance to guide others. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Peace to the tribe. We appreciate it. Peace, True. And Nzinga and Atala. What up, Zoe? What up? Neek is the night. And is it me or did this show fly like a mug? Hey, that's your third Cash App. Andrew Dre Daniel. Thank you, man. Thank you.
So that's what we're talking about today. Why do women play games? Now I know if you're a woman watching this, you might be like, oh, we don't play games. That's the men playing games. Of course, there are men out there who play games. And we have to be able to acknowledge, though, there are women who play games. There are people who play games. It's not gender specific as far as who's playing the game. But I would argue that in society, sometimes we make it seem like it's just the men who are doing the foolishness. And we ignore the fact that tons of women are engaging in toxic, unhealthy game playing. Plain and simple, all right? And so even if this doesn't apply to you for the women watching this, take heed, because number one, you may find yourself playing a game later on that you don't even realize, or your friends, your mother, your sister, someone you know has probably engaged in playing games, and understanding why they do it will help us in, one, maybe diminishing the amount of people who do it, and for the men watching, because this is really about y'all right now.
Man, I wish I would have played Steven Speaks earlier, because he's cooking. We got to get these callers on, though. In Zinga, Pensacola, Florida, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Happy MLK Day to you, in Zinga.
Okay, I'm gonna try to say what I'm gonna say so I can load to run it because I'm not loading. But I just want to say that normally when us as men and women we've been mollywopped, Donkey Kong, and Bebop by our husbands,
Right.
well, that's when I think we turn to want somebody who's maybe integral or maybe a little boring when we've been pushed through the ringer or went through the ringer without preference. It's only after, the tragedy that, we want somebody maybe a little more mellow. When men and women meet somebody or they meet you, they tend to kind of know what's up or how they're going to have to come when they meet you. Unfortunately, sometimes we have to come and we have to lead with the tangible or what we can do or our wallet. And I think that can become spiritually cumbersome. And what I mean by that is your spirit is essentially being squashed because you're not being your authentic you. You didn't lead with yourself. And so this person doesn't even know you. And so how I'm a big believer in how you start with me is how you have to finish and continue. You can't. That's why I'm real funny about people opening doors and doing all that, because it's cute in the beginning, but I'm gonna expect that all throughout. So I know that this may seem a little weird, but I'd rather you not start something that you can't finish.
Ooh, that don't sound weird. I like it.
No, I don't, and I think that's where that covert manipulation and things may come from, is because sometimes when things have become, when relationships have become spiritually cumbersome, you're always putting out, and women put on money too, because I know a lot of, homegirls that got men, in the penal system, you know what I'm saying, and it's all about, I can't say it's all about the material, but it's all about the time and material as well. And so when you're leading with that, it becomes very, very tiresome because a lot of people can't keep that up.
Wow. So, I love it. Guess what you just did in Zinga?
I brought Pensacola in the building.
Pensacola in the building. Yo, we on fire tonight. Let me just do it real quick. Hey, Carolina 1, I'm going to bring you on, but you got to make it quick, my friend. You got to make it quick, all right?
Got you.
Hey, and no profanity. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
All right, when I first learned about manipulation and people not being honest was when I used to sell candy and stuff when I was little at school. Like, I was a real quiet kid, so I started observing, like, okay, people be hungry, so I started bringing a little backpack full of snacks. What I'm getting at is I started having little flocks of girls around me all the time. Like, the gangsters started showing different respect, but that was because everybody wanted their piece of candy. They didn't care about me. So I started selling so much until I started messing up the funds that was coming from the school because of their vending machine. Saying all that to say, they busted me, you know what I mean, all of that. After I got busted, the flock listened. The gangsters can list. So that's just transactional. And then I started back, and then the flock got sick again. The gangsters figured again. So, you know, we all, like how you say, Machiavellian.
Machiavellian.
Very Machiavellian.
Hey, brother, guess what you just did, my friend?
So, you know, I had to put Timminsville on the map.
Timminsville, South Carolina in the building. Hey, you already know what it is. It's Ronan from Indianapolis. Ronan, you got to do this quick, but what are your final thoughts, my friend?
I think when you see it, it's a combination of platonic gaslighting meets sexual sharecropping.
Platonic gaslighting meets sexual sharecropping? Come on, keep going.
Okay, when you look at, parents are supposed to be the first teachers. So if the mom becomes your madam, sometimes your father becomes your pimp or the first John you eat.
Ooh. Here we go.
So in many cases, they teach you how to live on the blade of life. So when you get out there, instead of becoming a fully functioning being with, you know, flaws and everything like that, you find little things to cope with your deficiencies out there. Sometimes it's monetary, sometimes it's something empty, because you'll hear that mantra, I'd rather cry in a wraith than cry in a Chevette or anything like that.
Right.
So basically they will play the role like a geisha. I will massage your wounds while I get what I want with deeper stakes. But again, when you look at it, both end up empty. And most dudes who go out there, they're looking for that yogurt box, but he's trying to use that to, you know, soothe his wounds too at a great cost.
This is heavy. This is deep. Come on. Give me some more. Come on, Ronan. Let's go. I'm listening.
So the thing is, like, you have some people that get on these airwaves and masquerade as relationship coaches. But what they're doing is teaching you how to do a failure fluffer. They're teaching you to get out here and basically not just use people, but to whore yourself out. So instead of, and you think about it, you can tell because most cases they don't ask for, no, they promote actual testimonies of the things that they're talking about.
Heavy stuff, Ronan. As Nikki would say, food for thought. Brother, guess what you just did, man?
I said Indianapolis on fire.
Hey, you already know what it is. Let me just say this. You can't be nobody's peace. You have to be your own peace. The toll, sisters, of being his peace for a performative price cannot be overstated. Women, particularly in patriarchal societies, are often socialized to equate their worth with their ability to nurture. As Pema Chodron and Queen Afua emphasize, this dynamic perpetuates self-neglect, as the caregiver prioritizes the needs of others at the expense of her own well-being. The covert courtesan archetype, therefore, reflects not only individual struggles, but also systemic issues surrounding gender roles and emotional labor. To break free from these patterns, one must confront the fear of vulnerability that underlies these dynamics. Listen, I started the conversation, as I always do, but it's really up to you to finish it. And I'm going to go back to the cigar lounge. Hopefully they're having another amazing topic that I can bring to my KBLA audience. Listen, it's Monday. I'll be back tomorrow with another slapper. All right? Deuces. Hey, great show tonight, guys. Really great show. Really hot topic tonight. I loved every moment of it. It was good. I mean, it was really good. Y'all cooked. Good to see you doing your thing, Zoe. Remembering 5150. Ain't nothing but love, 5150. Hey, I appreciate everybody, man. Thank you guys for tapping in. I'm about to bounce like bad checks. You saw